Be honest with yourself for a second. You're not here because you're working on your life. You're here because it feels safer than actually starting. Watching videos about habits, discipline, or money feels productive, but it costs you nothing. And that's exactly why you will fail without noticing. Here's a simple example of how this plays out. Ethan is in his early 20s. He lives a normal life. Nothing about him stands out in any extreme way. He watches videos about productivity. He watches content about habits, money, and discipline. He saves the ones that seem useful. He tells himself he is learning. Ethan wants to understand things before acting. He doesn't want to rush into the wrong decision. He wants to feel ready. While he watches, he feels focused. He feels intentional. He feels like someone who is taking responsibility for his life. Nothing in that moment feels wrong. There is no rejection, no exposure, no risk. Ethan stays ambitious, but in a controlled space. This is why this kind of ambition feels so convincing. It allows you to want more without having to put yourself in a position where something can go wrong. Real progress asks for exposure. It asks you to act before you feel ready. It asks you to accept uncertainty. But preparation protects you from that. That's the safe version of ambition. And that's why it's so easy to confuse it with real progress. Ethan watches a lot of content. One video makes sense to him. It explains things clearly. He nods while watching. Then he clicks on another one. Different perspective. Different advice. Still convincing. Ethan doesn't feel confused right away. He feels informed. He writes a few notes, stops, starts again. After a while, something changes. When he tries to think about what he actually believes, nothing comes out clean. Not because the ideas are bad, but because they don't connect. Everything feels unfinished, like pieces that never settle into place. This is what constant consumption does quietly. It doesn't overwhelm you with noise. It overwhelms you with options. Instead of helping you build a point of view, it fills your mind with fragments, useful fragments, smart fragments, but fragments nonetheless. And when your thinking is fragmented, decision-making becomes heavy, not because choices are hard, but because nothing feels solid enough to stand on. So when it's time to decide, your mind keeps searching for one more perspective, one more explanation, one more video. And without realizing it, thinking becomes a way to delay choosing. At some point, Ethan stops. Not because he's tired, not because he's bored. He stops because he realizes something feels off. He knows a lot more than before. He understands more terms, more concepts, more strategies, but nothing in his life has actually changed. And that's the strange part, because everything looks like progress. The notes, the videos, the plans, but none of it pushes back. Nothing rejects him. Nothing tests him. Nothing tells him, this doesn't work. So his confidence stays intact, even if it's built on nothing solid yet. And this is the trap. When you consume without friction, your brain mistakes clarity for movement. You feel ahead, but you're still standing in the same place. Ethan isn't lazy, he isn't stupid, and he isn't unmotivated. He's just stuck in a system that rewards preparation more than action. And if you're watching this, there's a good chance Ethan isn't just a character. He's you. He's me. He's almost everyone right now. People who want more, who care, who are trying, but who are still waiting for the moment they feel ready enough.